Hey everybody, hope you're all well. This is the second attempt at recording today, as it seems I've been having a few technical issues with my sound recording, so I'm giving it another go. I think I've solved the problem and I hope this time it works better. It's Thursday, the 7th of May 2020, and we are only 4 days away from the Bitcoin halving. It's getting quite exciting. We are EGIL.TRADE with the Let's Talk Crypto podcast and proudly sponsored by cryptofish.com, where you can buy, exchange, store, earn and send crypto and Bitcoin. Most places in the world, internationally, debit card or credit card, ACH in the US, SEPA bank transfers in the EU, UK bank transfers using Foster payments. Soon we'll have US wire, soon we'll have Poly in Australia and Ideal payments in the Netherlands, and we'll be expanding into other territories too. We also have a free learning portal where we've got Bitcoin, Crypto, Blockchain 101, Cryptopedia, it's like a glossary, a free video learning portal, and of course we've got our crypto podcast. Right, moving on, I'll jump straight into the heat maps today. As you can see, Bitcoin is at $9,294, and you can see it's a bit of a sea of red on all the other alternative currencies. Jumping into the charts, guys, I'm going to be a bit quick today because I've got another podcast that I'm going to be recording with somebody who I've had on before, another professional trader. His name is Jackie of the Nibiru Trading Zone. He's very good with psychology of trading and risk management, and has a few of his own indicators and strategies that he teaches. We've had him on the show before, about 8 months ago. It was great. We had a good time chatting, very informal. But yeah, I picked up a lot of useful tips from him, and I believe a lot of the people who listened to it felt the same way. Anyway, what I've got up here is my monthly chart, and as usual, I've got the early opens marked out. I do like to have them marked out because I do find that price seems to gravitate towards them, and I do think that if we did take the southern route over the coming weeks, that we could potentially come down to the year open of 2020 around about 71, 72. I'm not anticipating that happening though. I am more bullish than bearish on Bitcoin right now. This monthly close being above the monthly 21 EMA, the 30 SMA, and the 10 SMA, and I mean, it's a big girthy candle. It looks really good. We have hit a pocket of resistance here, bit of a liquid zone, which we've been living under for a while. You can see it's acted as a resistance, sent us down, acted as resistance, sent us down again. So if we can break through here, I don't think there'll be much stopping us from 10.5, and perhaps even reach up with a little bit of FOMO and overshoot the 10.5 region and jump into the 11,000 area. But that's all premature mental gymnastics for now. If I drill down into the weekly time frame, it becomes more apparent on how I've drawn my support and resistance here. You can see that in 2019 this acted as resistance, it's acted as support on the way down, broken through, back tested as resistance, and again here a bit of a swing pattern failure, good bull trap, setting in a higher high on a weekly basis, and a lot of people anticipating around about these EMAs to get a higher low. That wasn't the case. It smashed right through, liquidating a lot of people on some of the very trustworthy derivative exchanges. Anyway, we've come all the way back up. It's been a healthy march all the way up to where we find ourselves now, back at this area that has acted as lofty resistance and support over the last 18 months, or at least the last year. I do believe, well, how I would be looking at this, if we do take out the wick of this candle here, then I think we're gonna go up and challenge around about the 10.2 to 10.5 area up here, where we might find resistance and maybe test back as support here before launching again. I have said in previous episodes that if we did break down, I would be looking for buys anywhere from about 78 down to 75, but I think 78 to 8,000 would be a great area to buy, especially if the weekly 21 curls up. Maybe we come back, test the weekly 21, make sure we're all on the same bus, and then head on back up. Another thing that's made me lean a little bit more bullish is if you look back at the monthly, you'll see that we've managed to turn the monthly stochastic around again. From this decline, it's crossed back up Would be nice to have another tick, but it is a month time frame. But what's the relevancy of that? As you can see, is when we do get upticks on the monthly, we do get some healthy price action after that. And when we do get a down cross, although it hasn't timed it perfectly at the top, we did get a substantial drop from that point onwards. We've come from about 9.2 at that stage all the way down to about 3.6. So you can make it as simple as you like. If you look at that, at the moment, at least, it looks bullish to me. If we go back down to the weekly, I'm pretty certain that it is also pointing up. Yep, it's also crossed up. And again, that just adds a little bit more confidence to it. The weekly candles look bullish. Again, living above the EMAs in a bullish posture. RSI is in the neutral zone. It is above the EMA, and maybe it will find a little bit of resistance here as it approaches the bullish control zone. Today, if you remember, we had the death cross, which didn't really play out. We came back, grinded up against the 55 EMA, broke through, grind up against the 200 EMA, broke through that healthily, right through the 200 SMA. Now we're grinding upwards again, and we're hitting this pocket of resistance. The longer we stay up here, the more chances there are of this golden cross occurring. I think we're about one tick away, and we do have a closure tonight at 4 a.m. my time. I'm GMT plus 4, so yeah, at midnight tonight. If you're in GMT time zone, adjust for your time zone. We will have another tick, and we're living healthily above the 200 EMA, which is most likely going to lead to an up cross. I don't anticipate it not happening. It's just whether price action will get pulled into that or not. But I am leaning more bullish than bearish here. And I don't think the 2-day is stochastic is getting up there, but it's at 88. It's not unusual for it to go higher and fake out down and up and down while it's in this zone. If we go down to the daily, again, you can see it's sort of like leaking upwards. I like to just throw on the inverse version of this chart quickly, and you'll see what I mean. If you were looking at this, you wouldn't find this very bullish at all. I wouldn't. It's sort of rolling over, and it looks like distribution on the inverse chart. If we put it back into the normal chart, you'll see that it looks like accumulation to me, and I do think so. Reaccumulation after this move up here, shake out some buy and sellers, a bit of profit taking with these wicks over here that you can see dipping into the liquid zone, profit taking, shorts, perhaps some shorts just playing the scalps, but it's still leaking upwards. 12-hour, we've got the golden cross. We are gaining some divergence here. We have come back down and tested the 10 SMA. You can see I've drawn this line in here. That's my first level of support. If we had to break down and bounce off there, I'd still remain bullish at that point, and lo and behold, that's where the 12-hour 21 is. As long as we're above that 12-hour 21, I'm okay with a bit of more reaccumulation, and then perhaps another try up if we don't take it from this point. But bulls need to probably do something pretty soon. Open interest is over 800 million now. And we have crossed the cheat code 12-hour stochastics up again, which as Eric Crown would say is a cheat code. So I'm optimistic here, guys, and we do have a fundamental event just around the corner. As I mentioned, we've got the Bitcoin block halving that is in 4 days now. Let's have a look. 4 days, and if it would load, 4 days, 14 minutes. 4 days, 14 hours, 12 minutes, and 54 seconds. Why is that important? Well, the inflation rate will be dropping for Bitcoin. In fact, it will be dropping close to that of gold. It will be around about 1.8%. It actually shows you on this web page. It will be dropping. So every 10 minutes, we won't be getting 12.5 Bitcoins onto the network for the miners. It will be dropping down to 6.25 Bitcoins. There's a whole lot of useful information if you want to go check it out. It's bitcoinblockhalf.com. It talks about why we need a predictable money supply, and how the issuance of the coins are done, how many, how often, 210,000 blocks every 4 years, how that's calculated, and it also points out where all the halvings are on this chart. It's also got a few useful statistics, the difficulty, the hash rate, inflation rates, value per Bitcoin, Bitcoins generated in a day, and that's actually quite a cool statistic. There's 1,800 Bitcoins generated a day. It's quite a lot. It's amazing. Anyway, another Another thing I wanted to show you guys today is that the open interest on the CMEs, it's at an all-time high. With price going up the way it is, and I think it's right about 9,380 with the premium on the CME futures, and with its open interest at all-time high, I think that is bullish. I think that it's showing what phase in the market we're in, and that we might see another leg up pretty soon. Another thing that has changed today is we had another tick on the fear and greed index. We are now in the neutral zone. We've been in the fear and extreme fear zone for the past 2 months, basically, which I think is the longest we've stayed at to an extreme that I've seen in the last 2-3 years, or 2 years. We're at 49, we're right in the middle, and why is this useful? I think when we're sitting in an extreme read, we generally have a counter move in price. As people are too fearful, price increases. As people become too greedy, then the price drops. It doesn't always happen that way, but it can be something useful you can add to your charts. For example, when we're hitting a major area of resistance on the chart, and you see that perhaps the reading is too exuberant and it's been up there for too long, too much greed. Perhaps it's time for a pullback. And the opposite is true too. But sometimes it's support. People are being too, maybe a multi-year support. People are being too fearful. Perhaps a counter move is just around the corner, and maybe even a short squeeze. Right now we're in the middle. What it is saying that optimism has increased. And if I had to take something away from this right now, I would say that perhaps we need to get higher, which leads me to believe that we've got a little bit more left on this move, another leg up, and to bring this into the greed zone before a substantial pullback, or at least not just a healthy pullback, but maybe a substantial pullback will be witnessed. And with the Bitcoin halving being only 4 days away, I wouldn't be surprised within the next few days if we do see something like that. But I am leaning towards an up move first before that, although I could be totally wrong. This is not investment advice. This is not it's not trading advice. Do not take any trades or investments based on anything I say here, or any YouTuber for that matter. Guys, it's short and sweet today because I'm recording for the second time and I'll be recording for the third time with Jackie from Nibiru later, and I really hope that you guys tune on for that. He's a great trader. He has got a lot of useful insights, and every time I talk to him I learn something. All right, other than that, have a great day further, and we'll catch you later on the streams.